The internet is facing a crisis. The content we view on a daily basis is changing as social media continues to evolve, as companies and users experiment with more software. And don't even get me started on AI, that shit's changing at like a rapid pace. In the span of a month, Atriarch over on Twitch exposed the world to deepfake streamer porn. AI Seinfeld became self-aware and got itself canceled over some insensitive jokes. You can have full-on conversations with Saul Goodman, Goku, and Mario. And now people are deepfaking audio with shockingly realistic voices.
Okay, Joe, don't expect me to hold your hand as you learn the game. I told you to go practice in single player by yourself, but you refused to heed my advice. I swear to God, if you get me killed because of your ignorance and stupidity, I will eradicate your entire bloodline and everyone they've ever known. Don't test me, Joe. I don't take kindly to neo-Marxists at the bottom of the dominance hierarchy.
Jordan, I think you're being a little unreasonable here.
But in an era so obsessed with clean, flat, and unimposing designs, why is it that so much of what we see is either too big, too small, stretched, cropped, or requires literal garbage to fill the screen? Low quality has become a meme in itself. It's just so funny to watch a meme get continuously reposted until it's just an incomprehensible blur. It's like the modern equivalent of rubbing a statue's dick for luck. Somewhere along the line, 4:3 aspect ratio was left to die, and I think it's my moral responsibility to prove to everybody that that was a huge mistake and that 4:3 is not just a relic of the past. Not only is 4:3 supreme due to its versatility, but it's actually crept back into our lives in recent times in ways that you wouldn't expect. For those who are unaware, aspect ratio refers to the size of the media that you're watching. Most videos nowadays are 16:9, which looks great on your phone or on your TV, but if you want to clip that and put it on another platform, you're either going to have to crop out some important details or letterbox the video, which, come on guys, looks absolutely terrible. Today, the aspect ratio standards are 16:9, 9:16, and 1:1, which is just a square. If you're wondering how that came to be, then keep watching because the title card should be appearing right about now. In the early days of the internet, there really wasn't a standard as far as aspect ratio goes. It was just kind of like a mixture of everything. But over the course of the 2000s, the tech industry followed the film industry in standardizing 16:9 across all platforms, ushering in a new era of TVs, phones, and computers. Facebook and Instagram promoted and continue to promote 1:1 aspect ratio, which, when viewed with captions and likes and comments, it's hard to argue that it's a bad way to view content. The problem is, although it is neat and compact, it's harder to emphasize wider or taller objects. 9:16 is kind of like a recent phenomenon. In the early 2010s, short-form video was just starting to crawl on Vine and Instagram, but recently TikTok completely revolutionized social media with the infinite scroll, which YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram went on to completely copy. They literally just copied the entire thing. But it works extremely well because users get to go through tons of content, which gives them a super personalized algorithm. It takes advantage of the entire screen, which helps to keep users' attention, but it also allows content to be displayed really comfortably. Well, almost any content. Ironically, it seems like the one type of content that 9:16 can't display is itself, rotated 90 degrees. Short-form video has really established itself as the future of social media and the future of memes. And yes, this is due to TikTok's influence on the competition, considering how YouTube now monetizes shorts. Social media was like an oasis in the wasteland of Web 1.0. Finally, there were sites large enough and secure enough where users could share personal details about their life without fearing their safety. Memes were also exploding in popularity, considering how the technology needed to create and post them were now more readily available than ever. And this has only continued in recent times as iPhone has introduced screen recording and downloading from the internet, which combined with iMovie, Adobe Premiere Rush, or CapCut, teaches a whole new generation of content creators how to remix and share things. This is awesome for artistic expression and communications, but 16:9 has a really hard time fitting into this new development. And I mean that literally. Rarely will you ever see a 16:9 video posted by itself on an infinite scroll platform. You're more likely to see that video cropped or paired with a caption to sort of fill out the screen a little bit more. TikTok tried to get around this by allowing 16:9 videos to be rotated horizontally, but I never really got that to work, and it kind of ruins the whole flow of their app anyway. One of the most recent solutions to the 16:9 problem is filling the lower 2/3 of the screen with mobile game footage. Believe me when I say that there are some very passionate people out there when it comes to mobile game footage. Some users will go out of their way to leave a negative comment dissing the mobile game footage format, and some other users will just critique the mobile game footage and not leave a like if it's not played very well. It's pretty funny. You guys should definitely read the comments on some of those. I think this is a really interesting look at how TikTok achieves their goal of grabbing and maintaining users' attention. I doubt that you guys remember 50 or even 75% of the TikToks that you watch, but just because there was enough interesting stuff going on screen, it did keep your attention. I mean, on TikTok, not only do you have the clip that's being shown, but you have access to the like, comment, and share functions. I know a lot of people just scroll through the comments once the video gets boring, and that is a really interesting way to see dialogue, conversations, or more content. There are entire Twitter and Instagram accounts dedicated to just highlighting degenerate or hilarious comments. And really with TikTok, you either swipe right away or you stick around for the entire thing. And personally, I don't really mind the mobile game footage as much, but I do think the principle itself is just completely unnecessary. We shouldn't have to spend days on end recording mobile game footage good enough to please the commenters. There's a better way, and this is where my master plan comes in. I think all of this hardship and extra work can be avoided by reinstating 4:3 aspect ratio as a standard. I know it's completely unrealistic to expect this change to happen overnight, but I do see it being a potential possibility now that people have to adapt their content for different platforms. Coincidentally, a lot of 16:9 videos get cropped into almost a 4:3 aspect ratio just because it's big and comfortable enough to see everything, and it also doesn't really sacrifice much of the action since most stuff is centered in the middle of the screen anyway. It's kind of interesting how this format came back on its own because people were just looking for a compromise between 16:9 and 1:1. And you know how I said earlier that 16:9 can't really fit into itself very well? Well, if you take a look at 4:3, it fits into itself extremely well. What this means is that you could create a video in 4:3 aspect ratio, post it on YouTube, and then go over to TikTok and post the exact same video with no changes. And even if you did want to zoom in a little bit, you're not going to have to crop off much for it to fill up a ton of the screen. And I'm not trying to say that 4:3 aspect ratio is dead. I mean, iPhones literally take vertical photographs in 4:3 aspect ratio, and I personally have had a lot of 4:3 aspect ratio stuff on my channel. I just think it isn't being properly recognized, and I think there's kind of a stigma where people associate 4:3 with the past, and, you know, it kind of goes against this new modern push that we're having with technology, social media, and artificial intelligence. And when you look up recommended aspect ratios online, you won't really see 4:3 that much. You'll mostly get recommended 16:9, 9:16, or 1:1, or in Instagram's case, they do recommend 4:5, but that's a standard in photography, so that doesn't really count when we're talking about digital things. Just to sum up my thoughts even more, I think 4:3 aspect ratio is far from forgotten, but I don't think it's getting the recognition it deserves. 4:3 is a great format to use if you want to have flexible content that works on a ton of platforms. And I think not having to crop any of the content from the video is a huge bonus because it just gets across the artist's complete intent for whatever movie, video, TV, or clip that's trying to be shared. I think 4:3 looks great in vertical. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, call me crazy, but I think 4:3 also looks great minimized on the iPhone. If you exit out of the YouTube app and, you know, it's up in the corner. Try that out right now, guys. Let me know what you think. I think it looks pretty nice. Experiment around with it and let me know what you guys think. I'm actually curious. I personally love 4:3 aspect ratio, which explains why I have such a heavy bias towards it. If you guys agree or disagree with me, leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe if you do want to see more. If you guys are interested in more vintage media, go check out my video on Bible Man or on The Air Up There, starring Kevin Bacon. If you made it all the way to the end, here's a special thumbs up for you. You get a like this time. I'm always asking you guys for likes. Well, you know what? Here's a like for you. All right, that's everything. Peace.